Okay, well, we actually already called this meeting to order when we were off-site for our other work session at the Old Mill Road lift station. So we are just going to reconvene the meeting at this point. So I will, maybe I'll turn it over to Adrian to announce our next work session, please.
Our work session topic is Dubuque Nature Everywhere. So I'll turn it over to the group.
I am here for this, David Resnick.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Resnick.
Hello. Thank you, Mayor Kavanaugh, council members, and city staff. We appreciate your time this evening. I'm Deanne Altoff. I'm the Mission Advancement and Community Relations Director at Hills and Dales and a part of the Dubuque Nature Everywhere cohort team. Briefly want to introduce everyone else behind me. I have Jared McGovern, Tara Roddick, Colleen McKenna, Danielle Willis, Lisa Feltis, Jen Salinas, Andrew Moore, Caitlin Moeller, your very own Marie Ware, and Debbie Butler, who is part of the Dubuque Forward group and acting as our fiscal agent with this project, and just want to share our appreciation to Dubuque Forward for that effort as well. So all of the information that we'll be sharing with you briefly this evening is part of your agenda packet, including the application that we submitted to become a Dubuque or a Nature Everywhere community. And it has your city letter of support, a one-pager that we're able to share with the community and other interested partners, and just a memo sharing the kind of history of the work that we've been doing up until this point today. Also want to mention others that are part of our group that weren't able to join us this evening, Caitlin Schmidt and Clara Sieverding Capron. So on to our why and our how. How did we get here this evening? Our vision for Dubuque Nature Everywhere is to inspire meaningful nature connections for all young children to be happy, healthy, and hopeful, with a focus on all children in our community. And these three key elements of being happy, healthy, and hopeful are things that we feel are important for all children within Dubuque and the world. The benefits of nature are plentiful, and these are three pillars that we wanted to just briefly focus on, being health, education, and connection. And if our children benefit in these ways, then does their family and does our community as well. So a couple to note under health, things that we're learning is the importance of being in nature for your eye health specifically, or decrease in aggressive behaviors. Also related to education, being in nature should help children have a decrease in disruptive behaviors as well, and maybe an increase in creativity and focus and attention amongst the others listed in the pillar. And then the important pillar of connection and feeling like a part of a community, increasing social skills and relationship skills, getting off of that phone, getting away from the tablet and the computer, and interacting with people, friends, classmates, others at the childcare, and your family, and just enjoying nature together and just really building that connection. So we're going to work towards that vision with a kind of a four-pronged approach to our mission. And the mission is really focused on young children in our community, age 0 to 6, and helping them increase their nature access every day by focus one of inspiring a community movement to foster awareness and buy-in. And through this, we are needing to build our partnerships and really not just have this as a brief initiative and a short time frame. We need this to help fix a long-term need and create a solution with a robust team of partners. We are today and tomorrow and briefly on Wednesday morning, we're meeting with the likes of the Community Foundation, the Chamber of Commerce, our local school districts, of course, child cares. We're meeting, we met this morning with United Way, and tomorrow we'll be meeting with the Envision 2030 leadership group, and the list goes on. But it takes more than just myself and the people behind me. We need buy-in from all of these groups, and we appreciate all of their input and their ability to help us broaden this reach and share resources and their expertise with us. The second is to empower households, caregivers, and educators with tools, training, and resources. We have found through various focus groups that Danielle will be sharing more about later that we need to equip the parents and the adults of our community in learning the benefits of nature and how it benefits the children in their lives. And so using our experts throughout the community, we hope to be able to provide those resources with the parents, also the child care centers, the caregivers that are caring for our children in the community age 0 to 6. Number 3, we will be collaboratively bridging gaps in access and belonging. Whether that access is maybe physical proximity, is the space that they want to enjoy, is it accessible or sensory friendly? Is it welcoming to all children? Is it accessible via public transportation, or is it within walking distance that is, safe and close to their home neighborhood? And as it relates to belonging, we're seeing that there's large societal issues that we need to try and tackle. May not be easy, but we're learning along the way and working towards that mission. And lastly, number 4, we're focusing on nature space improvements that support community climate resilience. And this may look like urban cooling, the increase in pollinators within our wildlife and nature spaces, and just really increasing the ability to work with our partners and making sure that there is nature-based design incorporated into our public and private spaces. So to recap a little bit about how we got here, in September is when you were able to support this initiative, and we were selected as a Nature Everywhere Accelerator community. We are proud to be just one of 2 in the state of Iowa, and just one of 38 in the entire United States. In October, we worked on our vision and our mission and messaging and branding. And that, of course, has continued over the following months. Throughout May and June, we were able to secure the Kids in Parks proclamation. We appreciate your support with that. And we started our attendance at different community events and focus groups in getting our initiative out to different stakeholders, and that momentum has really continued through the months of June and July as we are holding focus groups multiple times a week and have many more planned throughout August as well. We've also been part of different community events. We were at Night Market last week and had a great opportunity to engage with attendees there. We had, I'm going to steal your thunder here, Danielle, but we had one young man, young boy, who told us that kids would experience nature more and enjoy nature more if the earth was made of ice cream. So who can deny that? So it's been great to be out and amongst our community, and we're looking forward to other opportunities coming up as well. One example would be the booth that we will be having at the National Night Out in August with our local police partners. So moving forward, we are utilizing the expertise of Jennifer Salinas with Children in Nature Network. Jennifer joined us from Santa Fe, correct? And then Andrew Moore Andrew, there you are, with the National League of Cities. So they have joined us for the sessions today and throughout Wednesday, and we're glad to have them here in Dubuque and sharing their expertise. They will be helping us with funding strategies and how to keep the momentum going that we've been building over the last 9 or 10 months, and making sure that all this work really continues to improve Dubuque and nature access for the children age 0 to 6 primarily, but for all of us as community members. So we appreciate their time and expertise, and look forward to working with them moving on as well. So, wrapping up my piece, I will introduce Danielle Willis. She will cover more of the details and some of the insight that we've been learning from our focus groups and other friends. So, thank you.
Gotta lower that. Okay. Hi, I'm Danielle Willis. I am the Director of Early Childhood at St. Mark Youth Enrichment, and myself, along with Jared McGovern, are co-founders. We are the ones who kind of brought this initiative to Dubuque for Nature Everywhere, so we are very excited for this opportunity. I am going to just kind of go through a little bit of the themes that we've noticed from the focus groups that we've had thus far. As Deanne said, we have more coming, but we'll just share some of the highlights. So these are some of the favorite highlights and high praises that we've gotten from our focus groups so far. The Arboretum, Miracle League, Bee Branch, and Mowing to Monarchs are some of the favorites that are going on. And free gear and education. So people are noticing, Dubuque County Conservation's free kayaks and snowshoeing and those types of things. Those are things that are favorites. And as we go through these focus areas, we're going to share some quotes with you that were impactful for us, and we hope that they're impactful for you as well. And I will read them to everybody here and anyone who's listening online. Nature is in our own backyard. If you have a tree, a mud pile, and an anthill, kids are learning from that. So a little context for that. People, might think I don't have access to certain things, but if we just look outside, nature's kind of everywhere. And so we just have to engage with what's around us. We've also seen some trends in the barriers to nature, things that people are expressing to us. Adult engagement and confidence. So we've seen this come up on multiple occasions, that parents hesitate to take their young children outdoors because maybe they didn't have a strong connection with nature as a child, or maybe they're afraid of bee stings or poison ivy, or they don't know how to interact with what's going on. So we are wanting to focus on that adult education piece, so that can be a barrier that we can remove. And then, of course, logistics and cost. Weather appropriate gear can be an expense. And transportation was another big one that came up for us. Here's another great quote. Kids mirror their parents. When a 3-year-old says they're afraid of spiders or that they can't go outside because it's too cold, they're echoing what they've heard. So I think one thing that, I've learned from our Nature Everywhere group too is that there's no bad weather, just bad apparel, bad clothing. So if we can dress appropriately for the weather, we can go outside in anything. Okay, a couple more barriers. So information gaps, that has been something that has come up as well. People don't know where to find information. There are a bunch of organizations that, that do have wonderful things going on. They try to get it out as best as possible, but sometimes when there are too many going on, parents don't really know where to direct their time or attention. And then another one is cultural norms and social judgment. Caregivers often worry about how they're going to appear to others outside, especially maybe if they have a child who doesn't respond well to being outside, and how can that's a big one that I think Deanne was talking about earlier. That's a cultural norm that might be, a little bit difficult. We will need help with that to remove that barrier. So this following quote was shared to us in a focus group from a parent who has a child who's on the autism spectrum. And she said, "It is his dignity. If he struggles, I can get him through it. We can decide whether to try it again. But if he struggles and somebody else sees it, I feel like a terrible parent because I set him up to fail. Somebody else has a bad image of him, and that's not his fault." I just thought that was very powerful. And then another one. I think many of our residents have access to parks. A lot fewer have access to nature. So again, we do have quite a few parks in town, but when we're talking sometimes about nature, we think natural playscapes and those types of things. Loose parts comes to mind, which is like, sticks and stumps to climb on and logs to climb through, those kinds of things. And that's not as accessible to everyone. They also had some great ideas and aspirations for us. Bring nature to the families. Like, is there a way that we can do pop-up kits or smaller scale things and come into people's neighborhoods and do some sort of activity? And then maybe how do we reach underrepresented families with trusted partners? That's something that we've been really focusing on, especially in these meetings that we've been having over the past couple of days. How can we reach families who already have a trusted partner? Someone like the family or the multifamily, the multicultural family center is someone, who we're hoping to work with in order to do this. Another great quote, what if we brought loose parts, pine cones, or microscopes to parking lots? Because I think it's changing that mindset. Nature literally is everywhere. And then I believe, there's a couple more on here. So bringing child feedback into this. So how can we reach our children and get their feedback on what they want to see in nature and how they want to play and interact with nature? So we've done prompts at some of our outings. We've had chalk, we've had children draw themselves in nature. We've had water, they drew themselves in water and they drew themselves in trees, and it's been very interesting what they come up with. But a quote for that one is, the universal language is pictures. Everyone understands it. So by incorporating images, children can communicate their needs. So we are really hoping to engage that younger audience also, so that we can get their feedback on what nature looks like for them. All right. And then these are just last page for ideas and aspirations. We better connect parents to resources, which we've already mentioned. And then this was such a fun one. I loved reading this one. Create stormwater play bowls and use it as a natural landscape. Just getting creative on how we do this. So that will bring us to this. So this is where we're going to kind of talk to you guys a little bit and how you guys can help or how we can all help each other and partner together. So it says to help draft the Dubuque's Children Outdoor Bill of Rights, but we are going to draft the Bill of Rights, but we would love some of your ideas and inputs on what could be on that Bill of Rights. So what exactly is a Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights? It's a list of outdoor experiences that every child has a right to experience. A public-facing symbol of the overarching goals that a city has for its children for outdoor experiences. It's a messaging tool that raises awareness of the importance of children's connection to nature. And what we're really looking for this Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights is we want to use it as a galvanizing document to get everyone on board with this idea of nature everywhere. So I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to open it up for questions from you guys, and then if I can't answer it, we're going to open it up to our team members too.
Are you kind of done with the presentation in general? Okay.
I mean, we do have, if there is enough time, we do have kind of a little work through that we could do with you guys on the next slide.
I see.
But
Okay.
we wanted to open it up for questions first.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much. All right. So I heard all the names. I want to see if I got them all just real quick. So Deanne, Jared, Tara, Colleen, Danielle, Lisa, Jen, Andrew, Caitlin, Marie, and Debbie. Did I miss anybody?
And then the others not here.
And the others that are in absentia, Caitlin and Clara, right? Yeah. Nice. Thank you, everybody. Thanks very much for coming. We really appreciate you being here to give us more about this. But I will open it up for any questions that we have from the council or any discussion we want to have. Yeah, Ms. Wethel.
Thank you, everybody. This is so exciting to see it at this stage now. I really appreciated early on in the process getting to talk to community members about it and how thrilling that your work has moved so quickly. I don't know that it feels quickly, but it seems quickly. Just a couple of thoughts I had. The Empowering Households model, I really appreciated that. I know I work with Tara on the Parents as Teachers. We talk a lot about it. Dubuque County Early Childhood, for which we both get to be on, the power of engaging caregivers. And so I love that model piece of it, and I think it'll help it to be successful and integrative through families and childcare facilities. How wonderful. And then the societal issues of belonging. We know that as brain health is such an important piece of how we need to raise our next generation. I'm really grateful that you're focusing on this, and of course, Mrs. Butler, for your input on this. It's going to be a powerful part of it. The one comment I had, and I'm kind of wanting to know more from you all on what you're thinking, when I hear about the Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights and how we as a council might work on that, the first things that came to mind is, what can I as a council member do to make sure we have clean water and clean air and clean ground? And although in city council, we don't have always the broader look of the county or the state, I feel like as there are things that I can do to ensure that we have safe spaces and clean air and water and ground for our children to be in, I think that would maybe be a crucial part of what council needs to always kind of keep in the back of our minds. But I'm interested if there's any specific things that you envision council playing a role in.
Pass that off to one of you guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen McKenna. So with we call it COBOR for short, but the Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights, really, like on the next slide, if we had time, we were looking for what the COBOR should include is aspects that are unique to Dubuque. So that's something we thought, like, we're going to draft it, but if there are anything, that was perfect. Like clean water, air, ground, all that. Like, that's kind of the input we're looking from you guys. And then really, where we really need your help is once we have it, we'd like your support adopting it. We also want to go around, we're talking about creating a huge version of it that we can bring around to different events so that we can have community members, businesses, families, children sign it and get input and things like that. So we could really use your help in supporting it, promoting it, getting it out there. If you guys have any other ideas how to do that, getting your full support behind that would be really helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ms. Farber.
So I have a question regarding your stormwater play bowls. And how do I get one? And how do I use it? What do I do with it?
Yeah, so the stormwater play bowls, it was a really great example that someone saw in another community, but it was like, think about, exactly like a bowl, but stormwater where it's usually runoff, but when there isn't runoff in there, then the children are playing. And that came from a parent, and they said it was extremely helpful because the children were contained. Like, they didn't worry about their children. The parents all sat up higher in the bowl, and they knew where their kids were, but their kids could just run around, and they felt safe. They thought it was a really interesting idea, too. Something that they noted was that something that the play bowls help with is a lot of our parks, it's like park, sidewalk, street, which for parents is alarming, and they felt very safe with those bowls. I forgot where they saw them. Maybe it was like Cedar Rapids or somewhere else, but it was an idea, and we're like, oh, we've got a lot of stormwater.
Is it really a bowl? Is a physical bowl?
It's like a natural landscape almost, but if you think of something that's kind of, trying to think.
Was it made out of rocks?
No, it was made out of just like the ground, like just grass and just kind of a natural like dip where like the children would be naturally contained. They didn't construct it or anything like that. It was just natural areas, like where do we have those in the community that it's like, hey, okay, like can we turn that into an area? Kind of similar to what we have with the Bee Branch, I'd say. Like some of the areas where it's, you're kind of keeping the children in naturally with the landscape that's already there.
Okay. Well, thank you. Maybe I'll create one at my house.
I know, it sounds fun, doesn't it? I was like,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Others? I'll go ahead and say a few things about the Bill of Rights. This is I read a little bit about this, and I appreciated your answers to Ms. Wethel's questions about a little bit more detail into that, because what a great way to be able to bring the community together around an idea. And then I love your idea of a giant Bill of Rights that you carry around with you to show off at different things. You have the right team, by the way. Marie and Steve and the team with the Parks and Recreation, but then also we went through a process with our planning department to be able to do the comprehensive plan and be able to get out to all these different events. I mean, the playbook is there from a community standpoint of how to get in front of people. And it sounds to me like you're kind of doing a lot of it already. I mean, you're going to night market, you're going to the farmer's market, you're seeing everybody at all these different things. And we have, one of the things that we have that's just built in a very, very nice and convenient way in Dubuque is that we have just created so many events to be able to gather at. You also mentioned the National Night Out. So different groups have different functions where they get together and do these events, but it really does bring the community together on a regular basis, especially in the summertime. I mean, I just feel like I see everybody all the time, all summer long. Yep. And it's wonderful because you get a chance to be able to have all these conversations, and then if you have a conversation piece like the Bill of Rights, I love this idea. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think, I personally, I'm wide open to the idea of a city council adopting that as something that would be a document that's a community document, not necessarily something that the city has adopted and put forward to everybody, but that the community brought together and then brought to us. Yep. So I think that's a really neat idea, and I like the idea of being able to focus on. I hadn't thought so much about people having access to parks, but not always having easy access to nature. And there's one of the things in your document that you showed us that what is a children's outdoor bill of rights, and it's articulates the community's commitment to equitable access to nature for all children. That takes things a step further in my mind to not just do we need to build that into the infrastructure of what we have in natural landscapes, but we need to get people there. And that, to me, is something else that can be part of the discussion piece of how do we then get children to these places to be able to experience it. So
Yeah.
I'm loving everything I'm hearing. I don't know if I have a question for you, but yeah.
I'll take all that. Yeah. I would say too, we are working with the city's GIS team to do to map out. Okay, so where are the children in Dubuque? Where is the nature? And then take a look at things like household income and things like that to really identify where we have opportunities to do things like that.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say, spoiler alert, we're going to have butterflies at the night out. That kids can go in and play with the butterflies. So we're bringing
great.
nature everywhere.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm really excited.
Absolutely love it. Well, any other questions or discussion?
Mr. Mayor, very quickly.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Resnick, go ahead.
That's all right. My quick question is, does every Nature Everywhere organization put together their own children's outdoor bill of rights? Or is there some kind of a national outdoor bill of rights that you're looking for?
I would say, I'm not sure if this is shared out or if you have a copy of it. There's examples in the bottom of this same slide that we're on to Austin's, Baltimore's, San Francisco's. I would say the idea is one that's shared across the country. I don't think we're the only ones, though, in Iowa that would have one. But the ideas and the information that's in it and the things that you're promising and considering rights of children should be unique to your community. So there is some overlap with things like, you see trends with the clean water, clean air, clean ground. There's certain things where everybody wants that everywhere, but we would really love to incorporate things that are unique to Dubuque, especially we have the river, we have the bluffs, we have such a beautiful landscape that there's tons of stuff that I think we have that no other community has.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
I'm not sure how much time we have left, if you want to do this part.
We are kind of down to our last minute
You're
and a half,
fine then.
probably.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it would probably be best if we held off on that for now. But I do appreciate it, and I think it's good for us. And I did, I clicked on the link to the Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights to give us the examples that you just talked about. So what you've given the City Council and the public in the packet that we have in front of us, I think is really useful to begin this conversation. So
Wonderful.
Thank you very much for being here, everyone who was involved in this. Thank you so much for being here and providing this information to us and for anybody else who's listening. So looking forward to continuing the conversation very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Well, there being no further business in the work session, we will be adjourned for about a minute.